AMD just announced the RX 9060 XT 16GB GPU with impressive performance for just $349 MSRP. But just like with the 9070 XT, I expect if you want one at MSRP, you better pick it up on launch day. So today, we're gonna get you ready with 3 amazing builds, starting at $750 US and going up to no more than $1,000 US to save mainstream PC gaming. If you get value out of this video, please give it a like, it makes a huge difference to the channel, and of course subscribe for more cool PC content. Let's jump into it. This video is sponsored by Micro Center, America's favorite tech retailer, voted #1 in PC Mag's reader survey, with a new location in Santa Clara, California, opening soon. May is desktop deals month at Micro Center, with over 150 desktops on sale, like this power spec Ryzen 9800 X3D gaming system with an RX 9070 XT GPU for $2299. Or build your own with this Ryzen 7800 X3D, DDR5 RAM, and ROG Strix motherboard combo for just $599. And Micro Center's GPU trade-in program can help you convert your old GPU into a shiny new upgrade. Check out these deals and more at your local Micro Center using the links in the video description. So at Computex, AMD announced the 9060 XT, like I said, $349 for 16 gigabytes, and pretty impressive performance. Let's quickly talk about that. Now, they offered first-party data, of course, wait for third-party reviews, but looking pretty impressive and faster than I thought too. We'll go through my slide in just a second. 6% faster is what they're claiming than the 5060 Ti 8GB. There may be some issues in there, but still pretty impressive performance. They're also claiming FSR4 adoption is going much faster than they originally said. So up to 60 game titles now by June 5th, not the end of the year anymore, by June 5th. So it really does seem like they're putting more effort into it. And they are claiming that in the second half of 2025, FSR4 is going to get some very significant upgrades. So 2 thumbs up there. Updating our slide from our best GPU to buy in May. We do this every month. I'll leave it linked down in the video description. Check it out. 80 average FPS for the 9060 XT at 1440p Ultra versus all these other cards. Faster than I was projecting. I was projecting it to be much closer to the 5060. 5060 came in slower than I was projecting. So, geez, look at that. 5060 Ti, 16 gigabyte, 473 right now. It had been 529 earlier this month. It's possible it will hit the 429 MSRP here in the next month or so. So you could consider that as well. But honestly, 80 average FPS faster for less money and crushes anything else 40% faster than the rest of these cards out there for only about $50 more. Let's jump into the $750 to $800 RX 9060 XT gaming PC build. That's right, budget gaming PCs are back with high FPS of 1440p. Kind of almost impossible to believe. Is the dream finally real? Now, I have used the Gigabyte RX 7600 XT as a placeholder because 9060 XT is not in PC part picker yet. I'm just using it because it uses just a little bit more power than the 9060 XT will. So you don't actually need a lot of power for these things. Also, 2 thumbs up, by the way. You don't need a high-end PSU for this thing or a big wattage one. You don't have to spend a lot of money. Let's jump into this build. Let's start off where else? The CPU. Now, you can have 2 options, basically. We're going to use an older generation CPU for the ultra budget build here. Either the Ryzen 5 5600, great CPU, comes with included Wraith Stealth cooler, which is absolutely adequate for it. You can add a budget tower air cooler. We have not done that here, just to save on cost. Or you can go with the i5 12400F for $108. Now you're like, Jason, what about future upgradability? Honestly, this platform right here is more future upgradable now than the Ryzen AM4 platform because the 5700 X3D is silly expensive. It's not clear that those will be coming back into stock. Well, you can pick up a 13600 KF for like $190 right now, and only $90 more, you'd have a good upgrade in the future that would get you that Ryzen 7600 or 5700 X3D performance level. For the Ryzen motherboard, you want a good B550 motherboard, $129, but with a $30 promo code off right now, the Gigabyte B550M Aorus Elite AX. 2 thumbs up. It's just a budget board, but the thing I like about it, it's the DS3H board with some upgrades, which include a reinforced GPU bracket. 2 thumbs up there, and it just looks cooler too. It's just got the gaming styling to it. On the Intel side, I like the ASRock B660M Pro RS. This is a great motherboard, and this is absolutely adequate for that 13600KF upgrade in the future. Got pretty good VRMs on it. Just been an overall great motherboard, and unfortunately, a lot of B660, B760 motherboards are drying up out there, but this one still remains. For the RAM, we just want DDR4 3200 CL16 or 3600 CL18. because it's super duper cheap. Remember, we're going super duper cheap, not a lot of upgrade here, even for the i5-12400 to go to DDR5 RAM and spend extra money. Go up in CPU power instead. $43 right now for 32 gigabytes of silicon power. Now you can pick up an ARGB kit. I think they're like $10 more if you want. Again, we're just going super budget here, but go RGB if you want. Now for the NVMe SSD, this is a budget build, so we're gonna go with a budget NVMe SSD, but we are going 1 terabyte. I'm not gonna skimp out and go to 500 gigabytes just to hit the mythical $750 price point. I did think about it for a second. The thought did enter my head. I decided, no, this is 2025. Games are big enough now. We need to force 1 terabyte in our initial build here, but we do always have additional M.2 slots on these motherboards that we can add storage later. For the PC case, you've got a lot of options. If you didn't watch our best PC case 2025 we just released, there are tons of great options right around $60. One that we really like and have used for a long time, BitPhoenix Nova Mesh, 3 ARGB fans, great micro ATX case. It looks great, comes in black, also comes in white. We often build in the white one because it looks really, really nice. Other great cases out there by Okanos. They're a up and coming brand we highlighted in our best PC case video. Want to highlight them again. This is the Mirage 4 Black. It basically comes with 3 ARGB fans. 2 at the bottom, 1 here, but we'll support even a liquid cooler in the future if you want to do that. I think the case looks really nice. Again, white or black for just $59. The white one's actually on sale right now for another $6 off, so it's like $54. 2 thumbs up there. And then if you just want a standard front intake case, they've also got the Cypress 3. I'm not sponsored by them. I just want to highlight they're doing a great job. We've built in a lot of their PC cases, and they are super duper affordable, including the Aqua 3 Air, which I really love. All black one is $59. You want the white or black ARGB versions, it's just a couple dollars more. For the PSU, the good news is that it uses less power than the 7600 XT. That's totally insane. Going way down in power draw and massively up in terms of the FPS. FSR4 is pretty impressive there. Montech APX PSUs are killing it out there. These are C-tier rated, and $51 is an amazing price for this PSU. Now, it's not modular at all, but that's absolutely fine for a budget gaming PC build for this kind of price. So for $775, that's where I finished out on this particular build here. You could do a little bit cheaper if you got some of those other cases instead, and you can hit $750 if you only want to go 500 gigabytes on the NVMe SSD. But you're going to get an amazingly performative 1440p gaming PC build capable of rendering 80 average FPS across a wide range of titles at ultra settings, by the way, turn that up to high and get more FPS. And of course, turn on FSR4, which is ever expanding to get even more FPS. Yes, budget gaming is back in the mainstream. Let's jump into that $900 gaming PC build on a modern platform. Now, I finished out at $923.57. You could do this for just about $900. We'll go through how I decided to go a little bit of an upgrade here, but we will also go over a premium version of this in just a moment. If you do want a little bit more CPU oomph on it and you want to get an upgradable platform, you got to be on AM5 in 2025. That's what we're doing here. So we went with the Ryzen 7600. 7600X is fine. 7500F is fine. 9600X has come down in price. That's fine as well. I would just get the cheapest one for this, although we will go through a CPU upgrade in just a second. Right now, $198 with $10 off. It means $188. It's $20 cheaper than 9600X, so I would pick this up. Now, the 7600 Non-X does come with a Wraith Stealth cooler, and that is a great cooler to get you started if you're squeezing in on this budget. But I do recommend, if you can afford it, I would switch out the cooler. And of course, 7600X, 9600X don't come with coolers. I would go with a budget tower air cooler. It's really all you need for these CPUs. Do not overspend on the cooling if you don't have to, if you're not just doing it for aesthetic reasons. And something like the Thermalright Assassin X120 SE, 2 thumbs up, $19. You can go with the id Cooling SE214 XT. I like the Cooler Master Hyper 212. It's about $30. You can spend whatever you want, but you really don't need much more cooling than this. For the motherboard, I went with the ASRock B650M PG Lightning, which is kind of substituting in for my massively awesome budget pick being completely sold out, which is the B850M-X and the X Wi-Fi out there. Until those come back into stock, this is a great value. $120. The VRMs are fine. They're not stellar. They're not bad. They're just fine, and they will be fine in the future when you do want to upgrade this 9800X3D, 1100X3D. I wouldn't go beyond 8 cores on this, but that's going to get you the best gaming CPU that's out there right now. And plenty of USB connectivity to get you started. 4 high-speed USB ports, 4 lower-speed USB 2.0 ports. It's got Wi-Fi on it. Really, what else you need? If you don't want an ASRock board, you can consider the ASUS TUF Gaming B650M-E, another great one for about $139 with Wi-Fi. For the RAM, we're just going to go with the cheapest DDR5 6000 CL30 kit of RAM, which is the Patriot Viper Venom. Now, this kit has no RGB, and it comes in like a steel color. I think it looks pretty cool, especially with a black kind of gray motherboard to it. $82. $82 for 32 gigs of DDR5 6000 CL30 RAM. That is insane. For the drive, again, we are going to go with a budget 1 terabyte NVMe SSD. I picked the Silicon Power A60 again. Check out our best SSD for gaming 2025 video. We have tons and tons of options, not just budget, but if you do want to drive with some DRAM, we also have some options in there. For the PC case and the power supply, basically the same exact kind of options you had in the previous build, because these builds do not require very much power. So that Montech APX 650 watt for $51, C tier rated on the SPL PSU tier list, and then any of the like $59 to about $60, $65 PC cases that we went through, absolutely fine. Again, you could do this without the cooler for about $900. I went with the cooler here for $923, and this is going to get you an AM5 plan at 1440p, high frame rates with future upgradability. All right, let's jump into that $1,000 1440p PC build with a 9060 XT, and you can see I finished it at 1024. I couldn't help myself. I had a liquid cooler at the last minute. We'll go through that in just a second. But let's think about why are we spending $1,000 on this build at all? Because as I often tell you, like in our best CPU GPU combo video, don't overspend on all the other components if you can upgrade the GPU. Well, $350 for a 9060 XT, what's our next up on the ladder? It's the RTX 5070. The RTX 5070 currently costs $615 or $620, and that is crazy. It's almost twice as much as our current GPU. So given that the next rung up on the ladder is so high, why not spend a little bit getting more enjoyment out of our PC? Now, you could go a different route. You could get a better gaming monitor. You could get better gaming keyboard, gaming mouse. Those are all options as well, speakers and all that kind of stuff. But let's say you want to spend that on the build. Where would you spend that extra money, or where would I spend that extra money? Let's jump into the CPU. I think I'd go with the Ryzen 5 9600X. It's only $208 right now, at least in the US. And if you look at that versus the 7600, it's $20. It's $20. I know some people like Jason, LOL, Zen 5%. Take the 5% for $20. Where else are you gonna get 5% for $20, right? Pretty much nowhere. So this is a kind of a no-brainer upgrade, although it does necessitate, of course, a cooler. And you could go with like a 7700. It's virtually the same gaming performance as this. So I really wouldn't go there. It's another $260, so that's another $60 on top. 9700X doesn't make any sense at its current price. And certainly I would not go to an X3D CPU. That's just massively overspending. Remember, we can always do that in the future once we upgrade the GPU in a couple years' time. Now for the cooler, you absolutely do not need a 240 millimeter liquid AIO for a 9600X, a budget tower air cooler, just like for the Ryzen 7600. Absolutely fine, and really all you need. I'm doing this purely for aesthetic reasons because I think this cooler is amazing. We've used it in a couple of different builds. We used the 360. The pump is very, very quiet. I was so surprised. This is a $45 all-in-one liquid cooler. The fans were super performative. Look, it's not the highest performing, and certainly if you want to get higher performance, you could just go with a dual tower air cooler like the Thermalright Phantom Spirit or something like that. Id Cooling A620 SE. Those are all great coolers out there. But for $45, we're gonna get additional airflow in our case because of the two fans, and it's gonna look super cool, and it's gonna add just kind of a cool element to our overall PC build. For the motherboard, I'm aware that not everybody is in love with micro ATX motherboards the way I absolutely love them because of their value. And as we go up, maybe you want an ATX sized motherboard. Not that anyone really uses that many PCIe slots anymore, but it does look cool. I'll give you that. And the ATX size cases can look a little cooler as well. So I went with the MSI B650 Gaming Plus Wi-Fi. This is a staple of my recommendations. It had gone out of stock for a long time. It's now back at $149. 2 thumbs up. MSI, please keep this motherboard there. I know we have some issues in the United States. We won't use the T word in this video. Please keep this motherboard there if you can at all. Other good options, if you can't find this in stock, if it's gone out of stock by the time the video goes live or after the video goes live, ASRock B650 Pro RS, the full-size ATX. The ASUS Prime is actually pretty well priced now, the full size. Again, the VRMs on those two boards, not amazing. On this one, not amazing, but perfectly adequate for a future Ryzen 7 X3D CPU upgrade. For the RAM, I wanted to go with the Patriot Viper Venom RGB kit. I feel like in RGB kits, because you can get all white kits, you can get all black kits, but you used to be able to get all kinds of cool colors with RGB, and I feel like they've gone completely off the market, at least for DDR5, they've gone off the market. So I decided to go this route because I do love the steel aspect of it, but if you do want to get a white or a black kit, yeah, T-Force Delta kits are great. They're about $97. Silicon Power offers their X-Power kits with RGB on them for saying about $97. You go G-Skill. There are tons and tons of options. For the drive, I decided to highlight another great 1 terabyte NVMe SSD that's a budget drive. That is the Team Group T-Force G50, $55 right now. It's only a couple dollars more than the Silicon Power, and it is slightly faster. Of course, for most people, you probably never notice the difference between the two. I will say, if you're somebody who's like, Jason, I have to have a drive with DRAM, I do like the G70 Pro of this drive that does have DRAM. It's about $79. And the other one, of course, check out our best SSD for gaming 2025 video. We go through a number of different options. Clevcraft C930, another great option. Both of them around $80. For the PC case, I love this case, and I feel bad that we had to leave it out of our best PC case 2025 video because the video was just getting long enough. We had a lot of different options in there, but this is a great case, especially it's on sale right now. Typically it's closer to $85, but the Montech King 65 Pro is great. The only thing I'm not a big fan here is I don't like tinted cases. Some people absolutely love them. Obviously, that's why they sell them. So if that's you, here it is. It also does come in white, and the white one does not have a tint to it. They've got these white grommet hole covers on them. They're great for cable management. Overall, I super love this. It's got the Lee & Lee 011 vibes for a fraction of the price. For the PSU, I just decided to stick it out with the same one. If you want, check out our best PSU 2025 video. You can get a B tier or even A tier rated unit for like $80, $90, 650 watts, a little cheaper than that even. But for $1,025.89, you're gonna get a really premium gaming PC. People are gonna be impressed when you put this thing together. You're gonna be impressed when you put this thing together. It's gonna look great. It's gonna carry you years in the future with that future upgradability to it. I just absolutely love it for about $1,000. So is mainstream gaming back with the 9060 XT at $349? Let me know down in the comments, what do you think about that? And of course, check out those links in the description. Everything is linked down there. I'll also link some alternative parts as well. And if you want more information on the 9060 XT, check out our upcoming Q&A. Of course, Cat, Mr. Bear had to make an appearance in the video, of course. Give the video a like just for Mr. Bear. We really appreciate that. And we will catch you on the next one.